Hello and welcome to another episode of 33 Conversations. I'm your host, Michael Abney, and I talk to founders, people that build meaningful things in the world, all over the world. Today's no exception. Joined by Jack from Genoa, Italy, who has started a company called PickEat, what we'll talk about in a little bit. But he is fascinated by risk, and as somebody that's building something, risk is always something that we've got to do enough of, but not enough to, there's a whole world that we're going to dance around in today, and I'm really excited to dive in with it with you. Thank you so much for being here, and then I don't even know what time it is for you, wherever you're at, but I know it's probably later, right?
Yeah, thank you so much for the invitation, Michael. Actually, it's 6 p.m., so it's not too late.
Oh,
As a founder, okay. You work at every time, but yeah, it's okay as a time, so don't worry about that. And yeah, thank you so much for the invitation.
I appreciate you being here and sharing your wisdom with us on the podcast today. So I was kind of start out dropping it right in the middle. Like, what are you in the middle of right now? What transformation are you in the middle of?
So that's a very good question. Thank you so much, Michael. We are in a period where we are refining our product and understand how we can reach our final vision. That's to collect 100% of food and beverage data in the event industry, because that's what PickEat does and what PickEat has as a goal. So just for you and for the public, for little introduction of PickEat, it's a platform that allows people to save minutes when they go to order for food and beverage at events. It means that we started with the problem that is the queue that we have for food and beverage every time that we go to events. 35 up to 45% of people are not ordering anything at events. That means 1 million in lost revenue per year, per season, per each venue, like a sport venue, like stadium or an arena. On the other hand, also the experience, it's not so good, because for the fans you have just 15 minutes of queue, at least 15 minutes of queue, and then hopefully you don't miss any action of the game or part of the event. We went into that. We understood that the queue is just a symptom. It's not the real problem. So there are some companies focusing on helping you to skip the line, but we understood that the lines are just a symptom from two real problems behind it, that are on one side on vendor side, that have no power to control people flow. On the other side, on the user, they don't perceive the food and beverage service at the same level. So we can be in the same section in the stadium. I can be 2 minutes far from food and beverage. You can be 10 minutes far from food and beverage. So you see that there is a difference. So we built PickEat. Our first goal is to optimize logistics. So we work on mapping the venue, crowd flows, understand how people move, and so we can locate pickup point to ensure that everyone is within 2 minutes from food and beverage service. Having done that, then we go on vendor side. We have an algorithm that studies and optimizes the production capacity of any single vendor, so we know how much they can produce in a time slot of 10, 15, or 5 minutes. So let's say we know that every 10 minutes they can produce at maximum 70 orders. That's the cap that we create for the time slot that then we give to user, and we go on user side. Experience is very smooth. In 37 seconds from login, you can complete your purchase, and during the purchase of your order of food and beverage, so you select your items, and then you select the time slot. So when you go to pick it up, or when you go the order to be delivered at your seat, and at the same time you select the pickup point or the delivery option. So when you've done with the purchase, you complete with the payment, your order is ready, is going to the vendor. Then you can put your phone in your pocket, continue enjoying the event, because then we send a notification for the real status of your order, and you move to the pickup point only when you receive notification, with experience of 40 seconds from notification to order pickup. So that's what we're building. Our final goal is is to collect 100% of food and beverage data, and then to help stadiums, vendors to monetize from them, but also to work on user side to suggest new food options based on what you purchased before.
Stop it! That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's very cool.
So you're like the poster child for do this the correct way to do it. But how the hell, like, where this is such a niche thing. So, a like you call it the queue. We just in the U.S. we just call it, yeah, we're just standing in a line. So I don't know if anyone that have ever thought like to solve that problem, because most of us just stand in the line and don't ever even have the thought to what could I do to make that better. So what about your, like, how did this even, what made you have the urge to even want to solve the problem?
So first of all was because I experienced this problem myself every Sunday at the stadium. So I decided, okay, that's enough. We took a look at the market, understood what if there was any other companies doing this. Actually, yes, because let's say luckily yes, because it means that there is a market.
Yeah, because then you have to prove it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
You just
starting
made
from
it
the
better.
point that there are some companies in the market, but they are focusing on, as I said, helping people to skip the line at the cash machine, but then people stand in line at the pickup point with the QR code in your hand. So we just go from standing in line for ordering food and beverage to standing in line to pick up our food with our QR code. So it's all digital. You're just queuing in another line. So we started with that. Yeah, but if we want to move a bit on the risk, yeah, it is a risky activity because there are many stakeholders involved, and that's one of the most critical part in this process. But also at the same time, what we want to be with PickEat is the orchestrator between all the stakeholders at in the event. So from vendor, fans, sections, teams, event organizer, venue manager. Because with data we can orchestrate and optimize the process for all of them. So
Do-
that's the point.
how do you stay so clear in everything? Like, what's your first of all? Damn, this just really is insane. Your level of clarity is really, really extraordinary. Oh, are people just like, what? If I saw you come in and it was like, where the hell did you come from? Like, does other people like you? This is like, it's rare to see somebody that you're younger and you like are so focused. Like, it's just, where does that come from? Like, how do you not get
Thanks,
trapped in
Michael.
the distractions that, because the world is like, what's your experience? Because another part of this podcast is that everything around us is changing and reforming. Do you have that sense? Does that scare
Yeah,
you? Like, or,
no, absolutely. No, it's not scaring me. I believe that there is this huge opportunity that it's like a wave that you have to surf.
it
Something like
is,
that.
isn't it? It is.
Yeah.
This is where that risk
Yeah,
comes
it
in
is.
because when something's collapsing, something's rising too, right?
Yes.
So I get to talk to you guys all day, every day. It's so fun because there's a thread between this, just like this really huge passion, and it's such a distortion between what most people are experiencing now on the planet. It's like almost like you can't be that happy when all this other crap's happening, but you're like, screw it. I see a problem. And also too, this must resonate huge with your passion for events, like I guess it's sports, right? Sporting
Yeah,
events
it's
or
sports,
all.
soccer,
Okay. Soccer.
soccer
Okay.
or
That's
football
it, right?
for Europeans. But I've also had the same experience in the US. I've been
Yeah.
in the Bay Area 2 times, New York in October to watch an NBA game. Experience the same. So
Yeah, it is. It
the
is.
problem is there. So
Yeah.
it's also a good market, US market.
Yep.
We are looking at it. But yeah, we'll see.
Absolutely genius way to move information and make it seamless, because it's just takes somebody to think out and vision that process out and keep attracting layers to make it better. It's a really fun. I get to do that too with what I build, and it's really just amazing to not just to do something, but to do it at a next level. To do it at because it's really service is where your energy's coming from. So let's talk about the risk part. So this is something that you're really, really passionate about. And how does this play into what you're building?
So that's very, very good question. Thank you so much, Michael. So let's start from another point of view. I'm pursuing my PhD in risk management at University of Genoa. Some connection with other university in Italy, also in the US, where I stayed for a period during past summer. I started from the concept that we have a lot of framework for risk management for enterprises. There is no framework for startup, but also because you know how startups are built, so you can't have a specific framework to manage the risk at startup. But you have risk that you can focus on during the startup journey. So there is no sense like to focus on the government risk at the very early stage. You have to be aware of the risk that you have on the government side of your startup, of your company, but you don't take any action at the beginning because you just want to go into the market, understand if your idea actually solves a real problem or not. And when you build the MVP, you want to understand if your product is the right product for the problem that you are trying to solve. So the famous problem solution problem MVP fit that you may be at the beginning of your journeys. The first thing that I did is to map the different risks that you can have during a startup journey and understand what's the right stage to actually act and try to mitigate the risk that you have from. So for the very beginning is you have kind of product risk, market risk, understand if the product that you're building is the right product for the market that you are attacking, and also it's the best product for the customer that you are talking with, because sometimes one of the risks that you can have at the startup is that you have a beautiful idea, but it's just beautiful in your mind because then when you go at the ground, you try to test your product, you see, okay, it's not working. So how to mitigate this risk? It's a very good question, but you have different actions that you can do, especially at the beginning when you're starting to build your product. What you can do is just talk with your potential customer, talk with your potential user, and that's a thing that you have to continue doing during your startup journey. It's not just a thing that you do at the beginning, but because then you can have the very first idea that's let's say the architecture, the first part of your product, but then you're going to add new features, and to add new feature you have to understand if the features are just for you because you think, okay, with this feature my product will be so nice, or if the feature are actually valuable and usable for the customer, for the users that you're targeting.
Yes, that is such an amazing just point of view, because it's actually real. It's you have to, because that was one of the most powerful moments. When I started what I'm doing now, was about a year ago, and I was doing it because I had so many transitions in my life, and I was like, okay, what's next? How can I use whatever the hell wisdom I got from my life to give back in some way? That was the only thing I knew, because it was like I had lost. Like the pandemic was a light switch for, I think it was a light switch for all of us actually, to like wake up and like the kind of wake up out of like what I thought life was supposed to be to actually what it is right now. And what, I can't plan for anything. Like everything how I knew life worked stopped during that time. So what you're saying is something I never learned until after, and it's like doing it in real time. Dance, like surfing or on the edge of something, razor's edge actually. That's why you get cut so often. But that reality of like, okay, I went back, I'm going to finish something, and I was in the middle of 3 months into it, working 40 hours a week, and then one day it just hit me. It's like, oh my God, my offer sucks. Like my offer sucks. Like what am I going to do? But it had already triggered everything that I was doing, and I knew that I was connected to founders or builder or mission people. I knew it was something like that. But that's what shifted, was who I thought I was serving, then the problem, and then it's still a dance between the more people I get, the more it has to be interactive in some way. So we were all taught, like my generations were all taught, no, this is one way, blah, blah, blah. If it fails, you're a failure,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And it's like what you're saying is like, so the world we got to learn to play in is being curious and experimenting and everything that you're saying. So I love this, that you're
You
bringing this to
know,
the table.
yeah, that's very valuable because so it's so nice on one side to have ideas and try to build products that you really love, but then what's the value of a product if you love the product that you build but no one is using it? So you have to balance it. It's not a thing that at the beginning of the startup journey or founder journey you can have it's inside you, but then it's a thing that you can build and learn during the process because it's very valuable. And I can say it because I failed in the past just trying to build cool things for me that
Yeah.
were like useless for other people. So yeah, that's the point. You can learn, and it's very important to learn from what you did wrong in the past.
Yeah, instead of just going down the rabbit hole about what we thought we were taught about how that it works, and that doesn't work that way at all anymore. I'm not sure if it ever did. But like I know when you're going through this, like the hardest part's staying out of our own way mentally about what it is we're creating, not going down a rabbit hole, knowing, this is that same conversation about risk. So a lot of times, like for me, one of the things that happened that was unexpected was one of the clients that I had inside of one of my programs that I offer asked me to do something that was outside of my wheelhouse or something I never thought about through that I didn't have a solution for yet. But she asked me to create something for a community. It was like a theater company. And that led to just this incredible joy about constructing what I used to do individually, but for a group of people, like a mass. Yeah, that it's an event, but like that space, I never even dreamed that that was possible. But it was because of just an opportunity opened, and I was in alignment with it. It was like I have to love what I'm doing, and I can't. If there's anything weird in it or something, I've got to work that bug out before I feel like I want to promote it or I'm going to be effective in doing it. Do you ever find that in your journey? Like, how do you get out of
Uh,
your own way?
yeah, let's say that kind of felt it during my journey as a founder, but also also sometimes also as a researcher because you start researching on a specific thing, and then people just drive you to another topic,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you can start thinking, okay, my next feature for my product will be that. Then you just explain the feature that you want to build to your customers and understand that's not the top priority for them. So that's also another topic, how to prioritize features, and that's a thing that I learned during my journey. So it's at the end it's all related to how you talk to your customer and what you can get from there, what you can get from other people, also advisors or partners that are around you, because it's very cool to be influenced from other people that are around you. Obviously, you have to be influenced by the right
Yeah.
people. so
Yeah.
you so it all starts from here,
Mm-hmm.
and also it's the same thing that you have to do with your employees or collaborators or people that work for your company, because at the end it's very important to have people that are more skilled than you in specific fields, like
Yeah.
financial, marketing, product. So that's very important, and also taking into consideration then during the hiring process, you have to hire people that are better than you in specific field that or specific job position that you are hiring. Then it's also very important to trust them, and so to be influenced by them the field or topics that are relevant for them in your company. So yeah, that's a thing that I experienced in my journey. So to be influenced, also to discover that I could do other things during my
Yeah.
journey, just if I
Yeah.
hear to other people.
Exactly. You like play around with it, but long enough to like know, okay, I don't need to be around any of this stuff. Like, yeah, I totally, it's a weird dichotomy of like understanding it to know who to hire or who to like know the things that you actually need. Actually, your discernment is really key there. So that is true. But as you started to like build, it started to get stadiums to like buy in and you started working with them and it started like that process. How did that change you on the inside? Because your identity was a builder, you were like exploring, experimenting, but then it's like, oh damn, somebody's paying me to do this and this is working. And I'm like, how did you shift during that space? Because a lot of people have a hard transition time transitioning from that because that's a whole nother universe.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say that maybe I'm still in that phase of transition, but yeah, I've seen that change a lot, especially during past months when we started. So our journey was pretty unique because we sold the solution to four different arenas before writing a single line of code or a product. So just with a design, we went there, we sold the solution, then we get funded from an accelerator, and we built the MVP actually that we run in the arenas. And then when we saw that the MVP was working, because during the pilot that we had with the four arenas, we tripled the average order value. So it goes from €5 before our solution to 15. So it was 14.88 euros using our solution. So we were seeing that people were so they loved our product, and they started to not just to pay a transaction fee as we at the beginning, but also to pay monthly subscription. So that was probably the shift where you understand that you are building a monthly recurring revenue, so an MRR for your startup. So you have to start to pay more attention to the budget. So that's what we have now. Then so if we start raising at that moment, we get the funds at that month, and then you start hiring people. And as I said, you enter in the process where you need to be very good at hiring people, and that's probably what I'm still in the process and in the transformation process on that, because at the beginning I was looking more for people that were committed to the project,
Hmm.
or that, okay, if you love the project, work on it. Maybe we can understand if we can give you some equity, or understand how it could work. Then you just understand at the moment you have this shift in your mind that people just care about money. Unfortunately, most of the time it's very very hard to find people that have the same passion that you have for your product.
Yeah.
It's a very hard thing to to understand as a founder, that you will hire people that could be very passionate about the problem that you're solving, but not that with the same passion that you have. So
Yeah.
that's probably the thing that you can serve during your journey. On the other hand, obviously I'm not so skilled on the development side, because I have management and economics background. So I've learned during these months how to hire people also on that side. That was the thing. That's also the shift that I have in my mind on that. And yeah, also on budgeting, to understand what's the right moment to hire people, when
Hmm.
it's the right moment to go and attack a new market, what's the right moment to run your go-to-market strategy on a specific market or industry that you want to attack. So that's the thing that at the beginning you don't think on, like, a lot of those things that at the same time they just pop into your business, because you see
Hmm.
that you are generating revenue, and at the beginning you just think on, okay, I have to solve this problem, I can build something, let's see if it works. Then
Yeah.
once things just
Yeah.
start working.
That's your passion
You have
right
to
there,
add
isn't
value.
it?
Yeah.
That's your passion right there. Yeah. What problem are you looking forward to next year?
Uh,
It's a, that's an
so
odd thing to have for like a New Year's kind of a thing, but yeah, that's your passion. Like, so yeah, I totally get it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But also, you also find new problems during the journey. So you start with one problem that you think that's the one to solve. We started with Q. We understood that was on logistics side. Then if I take a look at the US market, that's different from European one because how the venues are managed in the US is different from Europe, especially because in US you have like different vendor owners. In Europe, most of the time you have just one vendor owner that owns all the vendors in the arena. So the thing is that you can continue to interact and talk with potential customers on the US market. For example, I understood that there was also a problem on the logistics side of the supplies. So not only on the logistics during operations when you have gain, but also when you have to manage all the stocks, inventory, supplies that come into your vendor, because probably there is a unique centralized warehouse where all the stocks arrive, and then they have to distribute them to all the vendors. So that's another problem that I discover and say, okay, maybe that's another thing that we can add, like at our puzzle, at our product at some point. It just depends when where we're going at in the market. So if geographically on one side, but also if we want. So our goal is to collect 100% of food and beverage data. If this help with our goal and our mission, it could be part of it. On the other side, it would be another product maybe. I don't know. It's a thing that
Yay.
that you have to find
That's
out.
another problem.
Yeah,
This is so much fun.
but
I
yeah.
love it. Like
So
that's changing the way you look
not a
at
problem.
something changes the thing that you're looking at. So
Yeah,
you're literally changing the way that we look at problems. Like we have to, right? Because otherwise we'll just create more problems. But you're like, you understand that the problem is the solution and you are the bridge. Like, so I love that. So yay for your stadiums. And I hope that this comes here. Would be really fun. It's just a new way to rethink a little space that most of us walk over and just think that that's just the way it is. And
yeah,
you're like,
yeah. But
maybe there's a better way. Yeah. So
yeah.
I love it.
Also,
So
also
if
for the
yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, just also for the audience, we have some opportunities of pilots in the US. So also, US market is one market that we are looking at for expansion. We'll have some opportunities in 2026, so new year. So if there is anyone interested, just let's try to fit this program together.
Absolutely. Well, we'll trail your information with wherever these go. But before we go, I always ask for some sort of perspective that you could give somebody. So if somebody is in the digs, in the mix, and they're facing this next level of taking their company to the next space or whatever they're building to the next level, they have to face that risk. They're looking and they're sitting at it, kind of paralyzed. What would you give them? What's the one thing that they can look at that'll help them shift from your perspective?
First thing that popped into my mind is look at the data. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you think that's a very good idea. So okay, I have this idea. Let's try to go and run the strategy that I have in my mind. But at the end, the final answer is data. So that's numbers. Numbers are the key at a certain point.
It
So
is. It takes it out
if
of
you
the realm.
if you
Yeah.
if you're paralyzed and you don't know where to go, just
Data.
look at the data, the numbers that you have, and you can find a way. And the other thing is could be if you're kind of stuck on a decision, just go for a walk, 30 minutes, 1 hour walk.
Nature.
Yeah, and then
You
and
do
then and
it,
then
get it
you
all
can
worked
you
out.
can
What the
you can
hell?
come.
I'm moving to
Yeah.
Italy. I love that you have this
But
awareness. It's so great. It just gives me such joy actually to know that, yeah, It's another thing, like when we think we're in the soup that we're in, that everybody else is boiling in it. And it's true, it's out there. It absolutely is. But there's also just this is another space that we're talking about that you're in and you're being a living example of. That's really, really incredible to be a part of and have a conversation about. So I thank you so much for showing up and being here today and bringing a little Italy to the pod. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Yeah. Any last little thing that you'd like to share? Anything else there for you?
No, if I can share, that's the thing. We are raising money. We are raising our next round. So if there is anyone interested in investing in a company such as PickEat, I believe that you can find my contacts, LinkedIn or website or whatever. You can find them. Just contact me. Probably you, Michael. You share more details.
Being a part of the pod.
So, yeah. Exactly.
Actually, somebody that's been on the pod she helps people with funding too. So hers is called Boxy AI or Boxy IO, I should say that. And I will connect you with her and anybody else listening. I'm sure there's just all kinds of opportunities
That's awesome.
to be flowing to your way. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate it. For you guys listening, I know this one was a really good one. I appreciate it. I love all of them. I love the unique perspectives that we're starting to get and just seeing the array and how much the way that we show up as a human being inside of all of these different spaces that we're creating is really making the world a better place. So you guys go out and have yourself an amazing conversation today, and we will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much, Michael. Bye-bye.